Did you know that most people want to practice yoga to get more flexible and also for stress relief? That's the main reason why people want to take up yoga in the first place. But how often should you practice yoga to get the best results? Hi, my name's Kamina Sue, and in this video I'm going to share with you how often you should be practicing yoga to get the results that you're looking for. Alright, so let's tackle that perennial question, how often should I practice yoga? And a big part of that answer is, what kind of person are you? If you're the sort of person who loves to try out new things, you go all out for like 3 days, and then you decide, it's not really for you, and you go on to something else, then I would advise you to practice a little bit of yoga every single day for at least 6 months to a year to try and break that pattern. So yoga is taught primarily as a series of postures, either online or in class. But what you can do is start to develop a daily practice of the awareness of those things that underlie a physical yoga practice, such as awareness of your breath and awareness of your spine. So you can distill those key elements of breath awareness and also awareness of your spine in a very simple way. So you're just moving your spine in one big circle, in one direction, long, slow, deep breathing, and then in the other. So you want to be doing about 5 to 10 nice, big, slow spinal circles in each direction. So after creating that awareness with your breath alongside spinal awareness, I would now start to think about getting in touch with your core. Now the reason for that is that this is the third center, so it's a development of will, which will help to establish that daily habit, but also it will help you with your mobility. Very often when we try to build mobility on top of a weak core, we can spend endless hours stretching and doing all kinds of things without really getting anywhere. But if you build that core strength and awareness, that will be a major shortcut to developing that mobility and flexibility that you're looking for in a yoga practice. And so one of the simple and effective ways to do that is by simply lying on your back and bringing your legs up like so, that your knees are over your hips. You're relaxing your shoulders into the ground. You're going to take an inhalation here, and then exhaling, you're going to press your thighs into your hands and your hands into your thighs and really feel your rib cage getting glued to the floor. Okay, so this particular exercise is actually helping you to connect the front and back of your core, and this is where you can feel your TVA muscle engaging as well as some of your other abdominal muscles. Holding this for about 10 seconds, really creating that strong isometric action by pressing the hands into the thighs, thighs into the hands, keeping those shoulders relaxed, and then gently releasing your feet on the floor. So I'd recommend doing a core awareness exercise like this, not only core awareness but core strengthening, for about 3 to 5 sets of 10-second holds. So along with developing that TVA awareness with that exercise on the floor that I just showed you, you now want to start developing that awareness when you're standing. And so in yoga, a very important pose is Tadasana, also known as mountain pose, which is where you're simply standing on the floor with your feet about hip distance apart. And I like to add a block to this, where you're just simply pulling a block in between your thighs, and that helps to engage the inner thighs to help be able to root and rebound from the floor a little bit better, so you can stand taller. And then start to feel that space between your rib cage and your hip bones, this place here where I have my hands, starting to lengthen, okay? So you can even like move your fingertips, your thumb and your fingertip away from each other, just to kind of feel that lengthening a little bit more. And you can also visualize the TVA working as well by this corset-like muscle that wraps around our body. Picture it tightening around your center. Okay, that's a really good way to visualize the TVA engaging when it can, because we can't see it, so it's a little bit hard to know if it is actually working. Okay, so by placing the block between your thighs, feeling the space between your hip bones and the rib cage gently lengthening, and then also feeling the crown of the head lifting up towards the sky. You can then, once you've gotten that feeling of the TVA, you're visualizing it, tightening around your center, you can then go ahead and just reach your fingertips down towards the earth and feeling yourself getting really tall from the inside out. Okay, so this is once again developing a little bit of that awareness, which yoga is so great at helping us do, of our body in space. And here it is from the side. You just want to once again think about rib cage, space between the rib cage and the hip bones lengthening, and those fingertips drawing down towards the earth and getting really tall. Long, slow, deep breathing. So if you practice those three things I've just showed you in this video, the spinal awareness, breath awareness, and awareness of your TVA, first of all by lying on the ground and then in a standing position with a block between your thighs, then you'll start to develop that awareness of all of those things that are so important when you start a more regular yoga practice where you're doing more physical postures. So yes, I do advise you to do these things every single day, and especially if you don't feel like doing it, because what you're doing is that you're training your mind and you're developing that muscle, which is all part of developing the thread of practice, and that's when you're going to be getting the most benefits. So stay tuned for future videos where I'll be sharing with you simple yoga practices that you can do at home. If you enjoyed this video, you got some value from it, please subscribe. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.